Не учим, а практикуем. Играем в английский от души. Свободный и мощный тренажер English-бот в Telegram. Когда предстояло делать хлеб,
When it came to making bread,
я обнаружил, что мне нужно несколько сосудов.
I found that I needed several vessels.
На самом деле, они нужны были мне по многим причинам.
In fact, I needed them in many ways.
Было бы тяжело делать деревянные сосуды.
It would be hard to make wooden vessels.
Конечно, было совершенно невозможно сделать сосуды из железа или любого другого металла.
of course it was out of the question to make vessels of iron or any other metal.
Но почему я не мог сделать несколько глиняных сосудов?
But why might I not make some earthen vessels?
Если бы я смог найти хорошую глину,
If I could find some good clay,
я чувствовал полную уверенность, что я смогу делать горшки достаточно крепкими, чтобы быть годными к использованию.
I felt quite sure that I could make pots strong enough to be of use.
После многих трудностей я нашел глину.
after much trouble I found the clay.
Следующей задачей было придать ей форму горшков или кувшинов.
The next thing was to shape it into pots or jars.
Вы бы посмеялись, увидев первые вещи, которые я попытался сделать.
You would have laughed to see the first things I tried to make.
Какими уродливыми они были.
How ugly they were.
Некоторые из них распадались на кусочки от собственного веса.
Some of them fell in pieces of their own weight.
Некоторые из них распадались на кусочки, когда я пытался поднять их.
Some of them fell in pieces when I tried to lift them.
Они были всех форм и размеров.
They were of all shapes and sizes.
После того, как я проработал 2 месяца, у меня было только 2 больших кувшина.
After I had worked 2 months, I had only 2 large jars.
На которые можно было смотреть.
That were fit to look at.
Их я использовал для хранения рисовой и ячменной еды.
These I used for holding my rice and barley meal.
Затем я попытался сделать несколько более мелких вещей и сделал довольно хорошо.
Then I tried some smaller things, and did quite well.
Я сделал несколько тарелок.
I made some plates.
кувшин
a pitcher,
и несколько маленьких кувшинов, которые удерживали около пинты.
And some little jars that would hold about a pint.
Их все я обжег на горячем солнце.
All these I baked in the hot sun.
Они сохранили свою форму.
They kept their shape.
И казались довольно крепкими.
And seemed quite hard.
Но, конечно, они не удержали бы воды и не выдержали бы жара огня.
But of course they would not hold water or bear the heat of the fire.
Однажды, когда я готовил мясо на обед,
one day when I was cooking my meat for dinner,
я развел очень жаркий костер.
I made a very hot fire.
Когда я закончил с этим,
When I was done with it,
я разгреб угли.
I raked down the coals.
И налил на костер воды, чтобы загасить его.
and poured water on it to put it out.
Так случилось, что один из моих глиняных кувшинов упал в огонь и разбился.
It so happened that one of my little earthenware jars had fallen into the fire and been broken.
Я не вытащил его.
I had not taken it out.
А оставил его в горячем пламени.
But had left it in the hot flames.
Так вот, когда я разгребал угли,
Now, as I was raking out the coals,
я нашел несколько кусочков его и был удивлен их видом.
I found some pieces of it and was surprised at the sight of them.
Потому что они спеклись и стали крепкими, как камни, и красными, как черепица.
For they were burned as hard as stones and as red as tiles.
Если разбитые кусочки обжигаются так,
If broken pieces will burn so,
почему целый кувшин не может быть сделан таким же твердым и красным, как эти?
Why cannot a whole jar be made as hard and as red as these?
Я никогда не видел гончаров за работой.
I had never seen potters at work.
Я не знал, как построить печь для обжига горшков.
I did not know how to build a kiln for firing the pots.
Я никогда не слышал, как глазируется глина.
I had never heard how earthenware is glazed.
Но я решил посмотреть, что может быть сделано.
But I made up my mind to see what could be done.
Я поставил несколько горшков и кувшинов в кучу.
I put several pots and small jars in a pile.
Один на другой.
One upon another.
Я положил сухое дерево над и вокруг.
I laid dry wood all over and about them.
И затем поджег это.
And then set it on fire.
Как только дерево прогорало,
As fast as the wood burned up,
я бросал новые деревяшки в огонь.
I heaped other pieces upon the fire.
Пламя бушевало вокруг кувшинов и горшков.
The hot flames roared all round the jars and pots.
Красные угли горели под ними.
The red coals burned beneath them.
Я поддерживал огонь весь день.
I kept the fire going all day.
Я мог видеть, как горшки становятся раскаленно-красными совершенно.
I could see the pots become red hot through and through.
Песок в стороне от маленького кувшина начал плавиться и течь.
The sand on the side of a little jar began to melt and run.
После этого я позволил огню потухнуть.
After that I let the fire go down.
Мало-помалу
Little by little,
я следил за ним всю ночь.
I watched it all night.
Потому что я не хотел, чтобы горшки и кувшины остывали слишком быстро.
for I did not wish the pots and jars to cool too quickly.
Утром я обнаружил, что у меня были 3 очень хороших глиняных горшка.
In the morning I found that I had 3 very good earthen pots.
Они вовсе не были красивыми.
They were not at all pretty,
Но они были тверды, как камень.
but they were as hard as rocks,
И будут удерживать воду.
And would hold water.
У меня также было 2 прекрасных кувшина.
I had 2 fine jars also.
И один из них был хорошо глазирован расплавленным песком.
and one of them was well glazed with the melted sand.
После этого я сделал все горшки, кувшины, тарелки и миски, которые были нужны.
After this I made all the pots and jars and plates and pans that I needed.
Они были всех форм и размеров.
They were of all shapes and sizes.
Вы бы посмеялись, увидев их.
You would have laughed to see them.
Конечно, я был неуклюжим при этой работе.
Of course I was awkward at this work.
Я был подобен ребенку, делающему пироги из грязи.
I was like a child making mud pies.
Но как рад я был, когда обнаружил, что у меня был сосуд, который вынес бы огонь.
But how glad I was when I found that I had a vessel that would bear the fire.
Я едва мог ждать, чтобы налить воды в него и сварить себе мясо.
I could hardly wait to put some water in it and boil me some meat.
В тот вечер у меня был черепаховый суп.
That night I had turtle soup.
И ячменная похлебка на ужин.
And barley broth for supper.
This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, visit LibriVox.org. Robinson Crusoe written anew for children by James Baldwin. I become a potter. When it came to making bread, I found that I needed several vessels. In fact, I needed them in many ways. It would be hard to make wooden vessels. Of course, it was out of the question to make vessels of iron or any other metal. But why might I not make some earthen vessels? If I could find some good clay, I felt quite sure that I could make pots strong enough to be of use. After much trouble, I found the clay. The next thing was to shape it into pots or jars. You would have laughed to see the first things I tried to make. How ugly they were! Some of them fell in pieces of their own weight. Some of them fell in pieces when I tried to lift them. They were of all shapes and sizes. After I had worked 2 months, I had only 2 large jars that were fit to look at. These I used for holding my rice and barley meal. Then I tried some smaller things and did quite well. I made some plates, a pitcher, and some little jars that would hold about a pint. All these I baked in the hot sun. They kept their shape and seemed quite hard, but of course they would not hold water or bear the heat of the fire. One day, when I was cooking my meat for dinner, I made a very hot fire. When I was done with it, I raked down the coals and poured water on it to put it out. It so happened that one of my little earthenware jars had fallen into the fire and been broken. I had not taken it out, but had left it in the hot flames. Now, as I was raking out the coals, I found some pieces of it and was surprised at the sight of them, for they were burned as hard as stones and as red as tiles. "If broken pieces will burn so," said I, "why cannot a whole jar be made as hard and as red as these?" I had never seen potters at work. I did not know how to build a kiln for firing the pots. I had never heard how earthenware is glazed. But I made my mind up to see what could be done. I put several pots and small jars in a pile, one upon another. I laid dry wood all over and about them, and then set it on fire. As fast as the wood would burn up, I heaped other pieces upon the fire. The hot flames roared all around the jars and pots. The red coals burned beneath them. I kept the fire going all day. I could see the pots become red hot through and through. The sand on the side of a little jar began to melt and run. After that, I let the fire go down little by little. I watched it all night, for I did not wish the pots and jars to cool too quickly. In the morning I found that I had 3 very good earthen pots. They were not at all pretty, but they were as hard as rocks and could hold water. I had 2 fine jars also, and one of them was well glazed with the melted sand. After this, I made all the pots and jars and plates and pans that I needed. They were of all shapes and sizes. You would have laughed to see them. Of course, I was awkward at this work. I was like a little child making mud pies. But how glad I was when I found that I had a vessel that would bear the fire. I could hardly wait to put some water in it and boil me some meat. That night I had turtle soup and barley broth for supper.